about the hit piece that was made about H3H3, Ethan Klein, and Gila, and how I just feel like this was a takedown. It was all just points made from Reddit, and I want to watch the video. So here we go.
Wow, Ethan, great moves. Keep it up. Proud of you.
Is Ethan Klein a joke thief?
Vape Nation!
So today, H3H3's just gone bad and crazy.
Hold on.
Hi, Ethan Klein. I've registered content with the United States Library of Congress. We are being sued. Theoretically, I could sue a lot more creators and rake in millions of dollars. Some of you guys out there sweating.
Dude is like a deep-rooted misogynist. Like, scary. You know,
It's,
But like,
in a nature setting.
in this video, right, she will sit here and say how, like, basically, she won't say it, but she'll paint the picture how they're just irrelevant, get no views, and so it's like, then why make a video about it? If something's so irrelevant and boring, why make a video about it? You know? I found that to be interesting too. And it's painting this false narrative without even going into the reasoning why. And you'll see that in this video. I don't have to tell you that much. You'll see it in here.
To be conquered. Like conquered. No, it's so right. No. Yeah. Okay. Then
He's a hypocrite because he said nigger before. And someone makes a compilation. It's like, here's Ethan saying nigger.
And you know what? Every time I see these H3H3 hit piece videos, it's always like the same rhetoric. It's always like as soon as I see the box, like H3H3 and whatever like controversialness they were in, I always see from the beginning, okay, they're gonna talk about the R word, they're gonna talk about the N word, they're gonna talk about his wife, they're gonna talk about the religion, and it's like boom, it's like every video has like these boxes you check. And it's like the same thing that we've heard time and time again. The same thing. It's like, can you give us a new scandal? And Ethan Klein's not even in a drama. And yet there's a 3-hour video made about him. Not even in it. But why don't you talk about Hassan? Talk about Hassan shocking his dog. Anyways, here we go.
You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
I've gone goblin mode over way less. I got the button. I'm ready.
You tune in to watch your favorite podcast. It's a casual stream where it feels like friends who are hanging out with you, talking about the funny things happening online.
I am a messy bitch. I say that all the time. I'm a catty, messy bitch. You were born fat.
I was always that. Just a fat fatty. You look crazy.
And then I saw the back, and I was like, oh, that's pretty epic.
You remind me of Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
But suddenly, things start changing.
But at the end of the day, I don't care.
Oh my God. It's always that. It's always that. Well beloved, we all loved so-and-so, insert favorite name of creator. But then, you know, I always thought there was something a little off about them. In that next comment, yeah, you're right. Yeah. And that's how it all starts, girl.
Easier than you are by a lot. I'm fucking insane. I don't care.
The host of the podcast starts acting out of character, focusing on dark corners of society, dark corners of the internet. Suddenly, the host thinks that everyone is against them, even you, the viewer.
Oh. No, I never thought that. However, I will also say that it needs to be noted that Ethan Klein is a trailblazer for all creators when it comes to fair use. But then even that, people throw mud at.
Hey, dummy! All of a sudden, you gotta get all bitched out? Like, give me a break, dude. You know,
Suck my fucking dick. Give me a fucking break. Look in the mirror, loser. You're the problem. You are the problem. Fuck you. So why are you expressing such dumb fucking thoughts in my chat? So you're a fake fucking fan. You. Get lost.
You know what? Okay. So first of all, right? This people will hear that out of the clip and be so offended by it. Without knowing the context behind it, without knowing that this is a show, you have to like, you know, zhuzh it up, be a little bit more dramatic for the views and the clicks, right? So he's sitting up here, and it's no different than people who go live on TikTok and they're battling and they're calling people broke. Like, all y'all watching right now, if y'all don't leave a like, I'm blocking everybody. Everybody getting blocked if y'all don't leave a like. Like this video or I'm blocking you. Drop a gift, drop a super thanks, or everybody getting blocked. It's like, okay, right. So I'm saying that, right? Like that's hilarious. Like that's funny, right? That's funny and that's hilarious to say that. And then some people will watch it and they'll get so offended by it. They get so offended by that whole entire thing. Everybody getting blocked. If you're not leaving a like, dropping a rose, drop an emoji in the chat, everybody getting blocked. I'm blocking everybody. That's what he's doing here. Here we go.
I'm sick of it.
What was supposed to be your comfort podcast, the place you go after a long day, the place you went to relax, turned into a toxic war zone, where the host is even launching campaigns against other people that you enjoy watching. You feel like you need to pick a side. The world is getting darker and darker every day, swallowing up your favorite content creator. And before you know it, you no longer recognize them.
Girl, that's a reach. This girl needs to go see a chiropractor after this video for all the reaching that she's doing. Okay? I'm just saying that. Here we go.
Oh, hi there. It's me, your old friend, Ethan Klein. It's been a while since we've last spoken.
If this story is familiar to you, you may be a former fan of the H3 podcast.
I am a former fan, not a fallen fan.
Ethan Klein began creating content in 2011 in Israel alongside his wife, Ela Klein, then girlfriend. By 2015, the H3H3 Productions channel exploded, hitting...
At this point, she's going straight into the deep dive on how they met. She's going way back. And honestly, if you're going to take it there, I don't even think she went far enough. Talk about... You know, the day he was born, where he lived at when he was born, the mom's house. Go into the house where he was born. Go interview the next door neighbor. You might as well. This is a 3-hour video. And trust and believe, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to watch this video for the whole 3 hours. And I'm giving commentary. So I'm going to be here for about 5 hours. So y'all need to grab a snack. Come on back, drop your likes, drop your heart me's, drop your shares, because I can't get a like to save my life. Drop your super thanks, drop a rose. Because we're only 6 minutes in. We still have another 4 hours to go, baby.
1 million subscribers by 2016.
You may have heard that we hit 1 million.
Hold on. First of all, can I say how easy it was? And I'm just being real. How easy it was back then to get followers or subscribers than what it is now. Because today, it's so... What's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Like, there's just a lot. It's convoluted. There's a lot of people posting. And it all starts, and I know y'all seen the videos where people are saying, just post, whatever you got, just post. And half of it's boring content. So you got all this boring content flooding the internet. But back then, trust me, I know this to be true 100%. Back then, you could upload a video. It's called How to Glitter Lips, how to get glitter lips. And it was a girl, Candy Johnson, showing you how to do her lips and put glitter on it 30 million views. How to highlight and contour, 60 million views. Smoky eye, 18 million views. You don't get those views no more, girl. If anybody does a smoky eye, glitter lip, girl, good luck for 300 views, if that. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. How to open the doorknob, 18 million views. It was a different world. Like, it was the wild, wild west. If you were there in the beginning, you knew that just whatever you posted, boom, people were watching it. Because there wasn't that many people posting. Today, it's a lot harder to get subscribers, followers. It really is. And all that to say this is it's not about followers. And I'm going to tell you guys, I took a master class recently. It's not about subscribers and it's not about followers anymore. It's about views. That's where it's at right now. That's the new thing, is to get a view. Then to create community and people who keep showing up in your live streams every single day, to leave a like, leave a little hate comment, whatever y'all do, right? That's real community. And that's what a lot of people don't have. So for those of you watching who are here, hanging out, I love y'all. Y'all the real ones. But when my video blows up and I get 50 million views, you're gonna see all these fake people. You'll see it in the comments. You know what I'm talking about? So anyways, back then, Ethan Klein, H3H3, they blew up because they were actually putting some funny content out. A lot of people weren't even doing that. So all that to say this, if you don't like this video, you're getting blocked. Everybody getting blocked. Like the video. Okay, here we go.
That same year, the H3 podcast was born, with virtually equal success. But by 2025, most of the H3 fans have abandoned them, with only a small group of very fervent supporters.
No, okay, hold on. See, this is where she done pissed me off. When Ethan Klein goes live on YouTube, every time he goes live, 30,000 people are watching him live. 30,000 people are watching Ethan Klein live. I can't get a view to save my life. And she's over here basically saying that he's so irrelevant. Is 30,000 people watching you live irrelevant? That's like when I post a video, right? I posted a video 4 or 5 days ago. That video about Eugenia Cooney got 300,000 views. Do you know that I live in Houston, Texas, the 4th largest city in the United States of America, and our, what do you call it, where they play football? Our stadium, at its max, fits 60,000 people. So that you're telling me I filled up the stadium 3-4 times over, but yet I'm irrelevant. I'm so irrelevant. If you have to look at it that way, a stadium holds 60,000 people. If his live streams are getting 30,000 views per stream, live people, that's half that stadium. If my video about Eugenia Cooney got 300,000 views, I filled up a whole entire football stadium 3 times over. But I'm so relevant. Hold on.
Left behind.
I don't understand what's going on because it's November, which is usually your highest revenue month, and this was like our lowest revenue month of the year.
Why did this happen? The very machine or
Okay.
monster.
Right there. And this was pissed me off again. Because she's like, why did this happen? So Ethan Klein just admitted that November, his money was funny. Ethan Klein just admitted that in November, the money that he makes, the revenue, wasn't the same as maybe last November. And so when she says, why did this happen? But she doesn't ever explain why. I can tell you why it happened. During that time, there was an app called TikTok. A lot of people went over to TikTok, and viewership for the YouTube community died down. And if people aren't watching YouTube, then the creators aren't making the money. Where did the people go? The people went to TikTok. And that's just the truth all day long. So, but she didn't say that. All she said in this clip was, played him saying this.
Which is usually your highest revenue month. And this was like our lowest revenue month of the year.
Why did this happen? The very machine or monster that Ethan built off of
She didn't even tell us why. She didn't even tell us why. See, that's what I'm talking about. And that little instance right there that I just pointed out is why now she's getting canceled. And she made a video last night crying on her YouTube that she's getting harassed and bullied over what she said about Ethan Klein. Here we go.
commenting on the flaws of other creators began to eat him alive. A Frankenstein of his own making that he thought he controlled.
Oh my God, can we talk about Frankenstein? So I saw this movie. It comes out November 2nd or November 7th. It's called Frankenstein. It's going to be on Netflix. If you go to some movie theaters, you can watch it now. Well, I went and I watched it, right? That movie was badass. It took the monster that is Frankenstein, and he was more real and humble and more human than people. And then Dr. Frankenstein was the real monster, the one who created him. It was a poetic love story of human life. That movie, I cried, I laughed, I was angry, I was mad. Frankenstein is coming out, I think for the regular, normal people, November 7th or 2nd. Watch it on Netflix, it's amazing. If you got an extra coin, go to the movie theater. It is so freaking good. Because Frankenstein was misunderstood. He wasn't a monster. But here in this one, she's painting out Ethan Klein being a monster.
But began to control him.
Oh, here it is. He took the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde potion. He's turning into the Goblin.
What's up, Chris Love?
And Green Goblin, you know? It's over.
Before we dive into this
Here we go.
video, let's take a moment for today's sponsor. Finding the right dog.
Girl, I don't care about your sponsor, girl. Next, not bothered. Does anyone else skip the sponsors when people say, hey guys, today, do y'all just skip it? Because I know I do.
/ completely and what took place, and empathize with all parties involved as much as possible. So many other influencers that Ethan has run into.
Okay, so she sat up here and made a 3-hour video. 3 hours. 3 hours. And y'all say, I'm obsessed. I'm so obsessed. I have never made a 3-hour video about Eugenia Cooney, 3-hour video about Jeffree Star, 3-hour video about Michaela Noguera, 3-hour video exposing Ethan Klein from H3H3, right? Who's not, now mind you, he's not any drama. Then she doesn't even talk about Hassan, who electrocuted his dog last week. That's a video I would have watched. And then she paints this whole 3-hour video how Ethan Klein's boring and irrelevant. They don't get no views. What about James Charles, right? So if someone is so boring, irrelevant, can't get no views, why make a 3-hour video about it? Because her video is sitting at 200,000 views in less than 24 hours. So now she made it popular. You took something that you said was boring, dead, and irrelevant, and now you're making it popular. But you're skipping over Hassan is the real sneaky snake. You want to talk about fake snakes? Hassan. I never saw Ethan Klein electrocute his dog on live stream multiple times. And Hassan has yet to make an apology, and he just denies. When there's so much proof that he electrocuted his dog. Deny, and all his orbiters and his fandom around it, they just turn the other cheek, but it's not dying down. In my opinion, this was a deflect away from Hassan and the dog situation, because Ethan Klein was the main one calling out Hassan and the dog. Let's just put that out there. Anyways, let me continue on, because we got 3 hours to go. Grab a snack, girls. My fat ass ain't going anywhere.
and has had controversies with have had their own set of controversies, especially lately, which has made this video particularly anxiety inducing, as I do not want to make it look like I am siding with any influencer.
Okay, right there. So when she said that, she got canceled. She got dragged all over Reddit last night. They're attacking her. She's getting doxxed. She's getting threats now. And now she made a video crying about it. Like, I'm not fence riding, guys. I cannot stand a YouTuber that fence rides. I can't stand it. Pick a side, girl. Stop trying to fence ride. And so she fence ride this whole video, and then she got called out, especially when it comes to the genocide of the Palestinian people and Israelis, all that stuff like that. She got caught up, and then she made a video yesterday crying about it last night. You should watch that video too. That'll be another video. That'll be tomorrow's video. And this is it. She's shook right now. I'm surprised the video's even still up. That's why I'm reacting to it, because if this video gets taken down, I have it. Everyone says that, then proceeds to make hate video. Thank you.
Over another. Or in this video, I'll empathize with an influencer, as I always try to do, and boom, literally the next day, they have a major controversy. Even though other influencers' controversies is not the focus of this video, I feel the need to touch on those briefly so this video doesn't appear one-sided. I'm just trying to do my best here. I did not expect so many influencers to have so many controversies in the course of the few weeks.
She literally should have put a pause on this video and talked about that, like up to the minute. Everybody drop a like. If you don't like the video, if you don't like the live stream, everybody's getting blocked. I'm blocking everybody. Everybody getting blocked. Like the video, drop a rose, drop a super thanks. Everybody getting blocked. Okay, here we go.
That I put together this video, and I really want to make it clear that I do not side with or stan any influencer or public figure, especially lately with everyone being—
See, here's go fence right. And how do you want to make it sound that I don't stand with any influencer? No, girl, you can't be a content creator and ride the fence all the way through your career. You can't put out the tea and say, well, what do you guys think about it? We're tuning in because I want to know what you think about it. I'll let you know all day long. I'll sit up here and I'll say, Hassan Piker is a sneaky, low-down, dirty snake. Luscious Massacre is a liar. I'll sit up there, I'll say it all day long. But these people, they always try to be fake. They try, thank you, Deborah, for the 99 cents. Can I get some more of that? Because I'm trying to give me at least 2 tacos at Jack in the Box and Oreo milkshake and Diet Coke, because you know I'm on a diet. But thank you so much for 99 cents, girl. But I'm going to need a lot more than that, girl. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's like, stop fence riding. Get on camera. And I would have respected her more if she would have got on camera and said, I hate Ethan Klein. He is fake. He steals money from people. Like something like that. Like, girl, but you can't just fence ride the whole video. 3-hour video? Really? Wow. Here we go. Let me continue.
Overall disappointing. I think that Ethan Klein is a reflection of a lot of what many of us are feeling in society. Fear, paranoia, division. While I don't want to add to that,
don't tell me how I should feel.
I feel like I would be doing myself a disservice if I ignored what's happening currently. That being said, after this video, I'm planning to start a new series on my channel called Internet Archives, where I'm
oh my God. Thank you, Droppin' Jew, for the 10 rupees. Got yourself something to eat, Richie Poo. Thank you so much. Here we go.
Actually diving into internet drama and pop culture moments in history with dramatic twists that have happened throughout the history of the internet and social media. Think diving into the history of Dramageddon, diving into the old internet history.
Oh my God. So she just said, hold on, I need y'all to pay attention to this. She just said that she's going to start doing videos about internet archives, right? And she mentioned Dramageddon. Do you know who's at the forefront of Dramageddon? Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson, James Charles, Tati Westbrook, Rich. And remember, I was in every single one of those dramas. I was there. I was there. I was in the hotel room with Jeffree Star and Trisha Paytas. I was there. And this is what really pissed me off. That she's going to sit up and all she's going to do is just read Reddit, watch a couple videos. But is she really going to deep dive? Is she really going to interview what really went on behind the scenes? Because everybody, one thing I know about the internet is y'all love to see the behind the scenes. But if all she's going to do is read a Reddit thread and a timeline of events and put together a video, girl, I could have ChatGPT AI me a video real quick. And it's going to get all the tea wrong and people are going to watch it and believe it. Yep. Here we go.
Guys, and so on. I also want to provide the disclaimer that any discussion that brings up anti-Semitism will not be tolerated in this video. I do not believe that any group of people should be hated or vilified. That being
I want to give us another shout out to the shout out. Thank you so much to, because I do it every time, Illuminati 5145. Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate that. Here we go.
I also believe that finding justice should never be through killing others. It's a cruel world, and to cause more harm is to continue the cruelty. I also want to say I'm not an expert in Palestine and Israel and the conflict happening there. That's been happening since Israel's inception, it seems. Well, I'll be speaking on that issue because it relates to later on Ethan's career. I also want to recommend these podcasts that I think go into the history and political context. Pod arrived at the
Thank you so much.
by one very hypocritical.
Oh my God. All right, finally we're into the video. It says the beginning. At 26 minutes, we're finally into the video, girls. You ever think to yourself, like, I don't get paid enough. I don't get paid enough for this. That's not my job. 26 minutes. Drop an emoji in the chat if you ever felt that way. I don't get paid enough. All right, before we start, because we're finally starting it, drop a like, drop a comment, drop a super thanks, drop a rose. Everybody getting blocked. And if you're watching here on YouTube, think about becoming a member. Join today for exclusive content and behind the scenes and live streams. Join the Rich Luck Sneaky Snake community. Become a member today. All right, here we go.
Ethan was studying English literature at the University of California, and suddenly he began experiencing intense waves of crushing anxiety.
Right before I went off to college, I started having really severe panic attacks. I was pretty sure that I was losing my mind. I wouldn't sleep for days on end. My problem was like circular thinking. I could not stop thinking. And if it was one thing that was bothering me, something that so doesn't matter, I would obsess over. Like I couldn't stop thinking about it. I couldn't help myself.
Ethan also has Tourette's. Tourette's is a neurodevelopmental disorder. It's characterized by repetitive, involuntary, sudden movements, or vocalizations, which are called tics.
You know, with Tourette's, I've always kind of like buried my head in the sand. I know I have it, but since I was a kid, the more I thought about it, the worse it was. So my strategy of dealing with it was always kind of just to like forget that I have it or try not to think about it.
Ethan has spoken openly and publicly about his Tourette's. There's a study that says that 86% of those diagnosed with Tourette's will be diagnosed with a second psychiatric disorder.
Girl, not her trying to paint him to be crazy. Well, since he has Tourette's, it's been proven that like he'll go crazy later on in life. And so therefore this explains his erratic behavior lately. That's what she's trying to say here. If you can pick up what she's putting down, this is what she's saying here. Well, he has Tourette's, girl. So when he starts going off the rails, he's just going crazy, girl. Let's all just tune in and watch him go crazy, girl. She might as well just say that. Girl. It's his anxiety, not the second disorder. Thank you so much. Thank you, Wawa. Thank you. Is his anxiety not the second disorder? Thank you, Mona, for becoming a sneaky snake.
during their lifetime. Nearly 58% will receive 2 or more such diagnoses, according to a study led by researchers from UC San Francisco and Massachusetts General Hospital.
Do you have OCD and Tourette's?
Yeah, Tourette's is like related to OCD.
And
OCD. So if he has Tourette's, right, then OCD would be another diagnosis, and then anxiety could be another diagnosis. How about depression? That's 3 right there, right off the bat. Boom, boom, boom. But in this video, she's trying to paint this picture like, well, you know, Ethan Klein's gonna go crazy any minute because he has Tourette's, and there's gonna be 2 other disorders are coming down. We just gotta watch them, and this thus explains why he's going off on everybody. Girl, I didn't know she was a doctor to diagnose people. I'm shook. Not her diagnosing Ethan Klein on video. This is dangerous. Oh, here she goes in the chat. Now she's here. Oh, now y'all done sent the video to her. Now she's in the comment section. Oh my God. Well, you know what? I'm not going to guest you because you sure had a lot to say in this video. So you're going to have to just sit here and watch for the next 3 hours because you sure had a lot to say. And if you want to say something, you can make a video.
for eating.
Anything else?
So Ethan was experiencing generalized anxiety disorder throughout college.
I was super anxious and super depressed, like generalized anxiety disorder. Like I was crippled by it, and I had a hard time socializing with people at the time because I was just so anxious and in my head all the time. It was probably the worst time of my life.
Many experience anxiety in school. The constant social interactions, stress, pressure, deadlines, all of that seemed to make school a breeding ground for anxiety. Ethan's anxiety became so bad he was desperate to get away from his environment, which led to him taking a trip to Israel in 2007 when he was 22 years old as part of the Birthright program, which offers to fund 10-day trips to Israel for people of Jewish heritage. Ethan Klein's family is Ashkenazi Jewish.
And I was already planning to do this Birthright trip for like half a year already, but I was so messed up in my head that I honestly didn't want to go, and I thought about canceling it.
The trip Ethan took is officially part of a program called Taglight Birthright Israel, which offers free educational trips to Israel for young Jewish adults worldwide.
I don't understand why that's even a point. So there is a Jewish foundation that basically gives other Jews money to come visit the homeland.
Claim that Birthright functions as a soft power or public diplomacy project for the Israeli government. Some controversy also revolves around where the money comes to fund these Birthright trips and whether the major donors influence the messaging or the itinerary.
There's rich Jews in Europe, UK, Canada, US, who give tons of cash, tons of money to the state of Israel for the purpose of bringing young Jews on this trip to Israel to connect with their Jewish heritage. It's like the most glorified version of JewDate.net. And
Dude, I think that's awesome. I don't understand the issue.
They handpick these beautiful Israeli soldiers. They bring over all these young American kids, and they're like, it's kind of a strange thing. You need to be Jewish because it is very Zionistic. It's very like racial.
While visiting Yad Vashem, the Holocaust Memorial in Jerusalem, Ethan noticed Ela Hackman.
Well, like I said, me and Ela's life has been pretty bizarre, and the way we met is no exception. Because me and Ela met at the Holocaust Museum.
It seems like meeting Ela was the cure to Ethan's troubles. One would assume Ethan associated his Birthright trip, traveling to Israel, meeting the love of his life, Ela, as integral to saving his life.
But the choice to go to Israel, despite my overwhelming desire to stay at home and feel safe, is what led me to the path of recovery. Because when I met Ela, everything in my life started to get better.
Hila Hackman was born in Tel Aviv, Israel, on December 12, 1987. She was raised in Holland. At the time of meeting Ethan, Hila was serving in the Israel Defense Forces, otherwise known as the IDF. Women in Israel are required to serve in the Israel Defense Forces under the Security Service Law of 1949, which made mandatory service required for all people in Israel.
I was in the army in Israel because it's mandatory. It was in a base next to Jerusalem in Ramallah.
So Ramallah, if you guys don't know, is like one of the most dangerous cities in Jerusalem. It's just like a ton of terrorists there.
Yeah.
You take the wrong street down Ramallah, boy, it'd be your last.
The standard length of service for a woman is around 2 years, whereas men serve 32 months, 2 years and 8 months. While some will resist joining the service and have to face jail time, others will enjoy their
Exactly. A lot of countries have mandatory service. And I don't understand that, again, why she's pointing out that Hila had to serve in the military.
time in service and do extra unregulated work, as Hila commented on a raid she participated in while she was in the IDF. These raids are not exactly regulated by the book.
You told me once you went on like a mission with them to like a city.
They would go every night on a raid. One time I wanted to go with them just to experience it.
Did they arrest anyone that night?
They did.
Did they bring it in the same car with you?
No, it actually looked like a nice city.
That's,
Yeah.
I mean, from their perspective, well, it's so complicated.
Yeah.
From their perspective, it's like, these guys.
At the time of meeting Ethan, Hila was on a break from service. Despite all of his anxiety, Ethan decided he would approach Hila, and the two immediately clicked.
There's this girl that is flippin' tall and beautiful, and she's got these huge blue eyes, and I was like, what?
After his birthright trip was up, Ethan had to return home to the United States. However, him and Hila remained in touch, and the two spoke over Skype. Hila was very shy, but claims in an interview with Insider that meeting Ethan helped her open up. I was such a shy person that I would barely speak in a group setting or open up at all. When I met Ethan, he really pushed me in ways that were so healthy for my personal growth. He made me more open and confident, and he would always just compliment me or push me to do whatever it was that I was inspired to do. Hila also claimed that she helped Ethan pick his battles, even if it didn't always work. I get him to be a little more responsible maybe, or think twice. It doesn't always help. He's going to do what he's going to do, but I do think we both influence each other. By 2009, Hila traveled to the US to live with Ethan. After living with Ethan for a year, her visa expired and she moved back to Israel.
So you go back, you see her just via Skype, email stuff. When do you actually physically see each other?
It was a while.
After
Hila had
a
a
year.
boyfriend.
A year?
I came here for 2 months and I went back and then another year.
Damn.
Yeah, well, I was persistent, man. Because a guy like me gets a girl like that interested, you follow that thread.
It went from like Skype relationship to living together.
Yeah.
Wanting to continue their relationship, Ethan Klein moved to Israel. He got a desk job in marketing and content management. He and Hila lived together in an apartment.
I worked when we were in Israel for 5 years at a desk job. And so I was,
5 years?
yeah, in marketing.
While I was going to school for
Yeah.
art,
Mhm.
he was working. I
And
mean, I
what-
was working too, but
What was your desk job? What kind of job?
I was just a content manager because I have a degree in English and writing. So when you go to Israel, that's actually like a marketable skill.
After some time, Ethan felt unsatisfied in his job. He was ready for a change, and Hila was studying video art. Hila was enrolled in the Shankar College of Engineering, Design, and Art in Ramat Gan. She was assigned to make a video about addiction. It seems like at the time, Ethan wanted to impress Hila. He offered to collaborate with her because there was another male art student that Hila was impressed with at the time. Ethan wanted to be better than him.
Hila was in a class with this dude, and they made a video together, and she's like, he's so cool, he can do anything when he's on camera. That's what you said, I remember. And I was like, I mean, I wasn't like jealous, but I was like, that's not that impressive, dude, I could do that shit. So Hila goes, we have to make a video for my art class.
So Ethan volunteered to help, and the first video they made together was titled Chocolate, intended to be about addiction.
Hila had this project to make this video about addiction. So we said, okay, let's do this.
Hey! Get a door!
What is that? Why is it in 4x3? How did you achieve this interesting wave effect, Hila?
This was also when the YouTube channel H3H3 Productions was created on April 30th, 2011. The name H3H3 is often translated as he, but the name came from the two initials, Ethan Edward Klein and Ela Hackman. While the channel gained popularity due to the Klein's reaction commentary and satirical comedy sketches, Ethan first used the platform to upload short comedic sketches with no real direction, which I think most YouTubers do when they first start creating content.
Cover all 9,000 taste buds. Aerate it. Warm it up.
Ethan described this period of his YouTube career as unwatchable.
There was no expectation at all. It was very much, I mean, our early videos are so off the wall, dude, like unwatchable. So I'm not surprised at all that nobody watched them for that long.
Ethan and Ela married in 2012. In the early years of their YouTube career, they're living together in Tel Aviv, Israel.
Welcome to the hole neighborhood known as Florentine in Israel. And this is where me and Ela,
Our first apartment.
first apartment we ever had together in the whole world was here in this neighborhood. In my opinion, this looks more like India than. You can't even tell. The street doesn't even look that bad with all the wires. We had cockroaches. We had mice.
Yet Ethan, surprisingly during this time, exhibited his own version of anti-Semitism on the people living in
here we
Israel.
go, guys. Here we go.
He's the first to claim that others are anti-Semitic.
Here we go.
In the past, it seems Ethan would often say blatantly offensive things, yet he believed them to just be a joke.
I can take these guys a little bit more seriously. Like these fucking double curls.
That is disgusting. But also, come on, wearing a full suit in the summer. But they stink the whole place for everyone.
Stink suit. Here we go. When I drive in a car. Careful, everybody. We'll get some good footage, hopefully, of these goofy ass rat tail mugs. The home of the Jew, the Jewy Jew. This is home of the super Jew, the dirty.
Okay, so basically, so here she's pointing out that because he lived in the area or was around an area that had, now mind you, he's Jew himself, that the Jewish people had on these giant suits, and then he was saying, oh, they're sweaty and they're stinky, and so because he said that, there's some anti-Semitism there. But girl. And now mind you too, this was a different time where saying something like that people thought was funny, and then today people get so offended by it. Which then, it's she called out all the times that he was controversial, but yet she didn't really put in there that every single time that he apologized for it or talked about it or mentioned it. Exactly. Those are Orthodox Jewish people, and no, they don't stink. Okay, here we go.
Grimy, jacket-wearing Jews.
Ethan uploaded reaction content with his own unique style, alongside Ela's occasional commentary.
Pre-drill. Man, I love that pen and the cap look. It's so casual and sexy. Does it work on me, Ela? How do I look?
Pretty hard, actually.
You do the introduce yourself thing.
That's his own opinion.
You do the introduce yourself thing. I mean, look, guys, it doesn't really matter what you say to these brainless creatures, okay? Why aren't we fucking men, by the way? I want to fuck dudes. I'm gay and I want to fuck. Come here. Oh, 2 million.
The reaction style content became a huge success. This could have
Oh
been
my
due to
God.
the fact that at the time,
So again, just so that you know the scope of things, right? So back on to the Tube, people would put a video up and just watch it and give no commentary. Just, I guess they were reacting to it, but they would say nothing. They would just play the video and get millions of views. This is how far back this was. Hey, girl, hold on. Oh my God.
in 2014, obnoxious, low-effort YouTube channels like Prank Invasion and SoFlo Antonio were receiving millions of views.
Yeah.
Audiences needed a place to vent their frustration. H3H3 initially provided a community where audiences could essentially laugh at these creators, as Ethan sort of rightfully called them out for their preposterousness.
SoFlo is a unique case, and he is beloved by all of us for such a great reason, and that's being that he puts himself in the videos he steals to somehow make it more like his brand.
Watch this really closely.
Gorgeous mission day.
25 million views, 0 credits given.
This is me when she says she likes guys that play instruments.
11 million views, 0 credits given.
The viral video Vape Nation could be seen as the marker for H3's success. Dressing up as a typical vapor with psychedelic glasses, a marijuana-patterned headscarf, and a socks with sandals combo, Ethan Klein interacted with various members in New York City without breaking character. The persona that Ethan adopted for the video became an established meme. You almost wonder if it was sort of the genesis of the street interview, street prank videos that we see today all over social media. Because of the massive virality of Vape Nation, H3H3 Productions reached a new level of fame. Today, the video has over 28 million views, and it remains their most popular video to date. But ultimately, why did H3 gain a massive audience? What made the channel so likable? I think this quote from an article on Medium describes the phenomenon of the H3H3 success pretty well. When Ethan and Hila started H3H3 Productions back in 2011, they weren't chasing fame or influence. They were just awkward, funny people, making content that felt raw
Socks
and real.
with sandals.
Ethan's unfiltered rants, weird sketches, and hilarious reactions felt like the antidote to influencer culture, a breath of fresh air in an increasing...
Can I just... the socks with sandals combo, like that was just, I don't know why I find that hilarious. Like, wait, is that cool? I mean, is that a cool thing, socks with sandals? Or like, I don't know, y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. And I see people do it every day. I see it all the time. I see it all the time. Here we go.
Digital world. People loved them because they were authentic. They were awkward and messy, and they didn't try to hide it. Hila's quiet humor balanced Ethan's chaotic energy, and together, they felt like the internet's best friend. They laughed at the absurdity of online trends. They called out shady influencers. They made videos that felt like sitting on the couch with your funniest, weirdest friends. The Kleins created a second channel titled Ethan and Hila. On this channel, they posted in a sort of vlog-style format.
We're gonna put 20 bucks in here, and if we don't win, I'm gonna be in big trouble. This is our last 20, so I really need this to win now.
In April of 2015, the Klein family moved to the United States. Initially, they chose Los Angeles, moving briefly to New York City, and then choosing to move back to LA only a year later. By February of 2016, H3H3 Productions reached 1 million subscribers. And only 6 months later, H3H3 passed the 2 million subscriber mark.
Welcome to Papa's house.
Welcome.
Today, I come to you bearing great news, my friends. We have hit 2 million subscribers.
Oh, man.
Then H3 hit 3 million in December of that year. However, by 2016, Ethan and Hila felt the need to change gears. More and more reaction-style content creators were flooding the scene. On top of that, the amount of creators who were doing cringeworthy things were sort of running dry. At least you would think, though reaction-style content sort of made a resurgence later on. On top of that, creators like H3H3 had such a diehard following at the time that when they reacted to someone online, their fan base flooded that creator's comment section and sometimes drove them off the platform entirely.
It was dying. We felt like H3 was dying. It was stale. People weren't happy. It wasn't growing. We almost completely stopped posting on H3 and worked on Ethan and Hila for like 2 or 3 months.
So towards the end of 2016, the couple started experimenting with live streaming on Twitch, which later evolved into the format the H3 podcast. I also want to note here, something that's not often talked about is some of the reasons why a ton of very successful YouTubers will often turn to podcasting. Even if a successful YouTuber's podcasts don't get as many views as some of their very successful YouTube video formats, podcasts make a significantly more amount of revenue than the YouTube videos that creator does. And for the sake of time, I'll just explain it really briefly. This is because through podcasting, a creator can put multiple ads in a single video. I mean, my normal videos are about a podcast length and I only do one sponsorship, but through a podcast you can have like 5 ads throughout and put platform ad revenue in as well, essentially 5xing your ad revenue. On top of that though, podcasting sponsorships pay significantly more, at least from what I've been told. So switching to podcasting is often seen as a very strategic business move. I personally was always confused why content creators would switch to a podcast, so if you're like me, now you know. The first episode of the H3 podcast was uploaded on April 3rd, 2017, featuring Justin Roiland.
Okay, So you see how she explained why Ethan Klein started the podcast? Because essentially there's more money to be made there. And she broke that down. But earlier in the video, she didn't do that with some of the topics that she covered. Exactly. H3 never has 5 ads though. You guys, this video is a hit piece. And she got so much, she posted it yesterday. She got so much backlash that she made a video last night crying about it because she's getting attacked in the comments. And all she really did was post things she found on Reddit and put it and just make a video. And she has squishmallows in her hit piece of a video. Hold on, here we go.
Welcome, everybody, to the first episode of the H3H3 podcast. We're so happy to have you here, and we're so excited to bring this show to you guys. Today, we have a very special first guest, Justin Roiland, the co-creator of Rick and Morty, and a very close personal friend of ours. Guys, let's jump right in.
The co-creator of Rick and Morty,
The
wow.
podcast didn't just interview Ethan's famous friends. They also spoke with Ethan's famous influencer friends, which was, at the time, different from other podcasts.
Okay, here's whenever she starts saying that he has no friends, everyone turned their back on him, stuff like that. Before I go into that, I always felt like the H3 podcast could be bigger than Joe Rogan, bigger than No Jumper, and like just having the guest, like the lineup. I swear if I had like 1 week, I could put together a badass guest list on that show. You know what I'm talking about? Like badass, like some good, like, yes, you love the podcast, but then you're gonna watch because, oh my God, this one person's gonna be on there. Like, I'm telling you, there are so many people who would be on that show that would bring the views for the episode. All they have to do is reach out. And it has to be like salacious type, like that one girl who like sucked off all the rappers and all the basketball NBA players. You know that one girl? Bring her on the show because she loves to go on podcasts. Everywhere she goes, she gets views because all the guys want to watch, and then she's going to name drop who she slept around with and things like that. Bring in like the #1 Dolly Parton impersonator, like that one who has like those really big, huge boobs that no doctor would ever operate her on because they're so big. Thank you so much for the weight in gold. Like, what I'm trying to say is there are a lot of guests that would love to be on the show. Very interesting, crazy people too. But if you guys know anybody in the chat that you would like to see on the podcast, put it down below. Hold on, let me see. We got some comments here. Yeah, there you go. And also, thank you. Hold on, we got a shout out for the shout out. Thank you to Miss Davis 4211 for saying you're worth your weight in gold. Thank you. All right, here we go.
This means that the H3 podcast filled a void in the budding podcasting space. Most podcasts that had an interview format sought out traditional celebrities to interview. They didn't really take content creators seriously despite their ever-increasing influence at the time.
Joined with us today is Markiplier, the legend. You
Markiplier.
are kind of a legend on YouTube, my friend.
Markiplier.
And with us as well is Ian from Smosh, another legend. Titans of the industry. Titans, the most important
How are you
people
feeling?
on
How are you
YouTube.
feeling about all this like praise?
I don't know, man.
But early on, the H3 podcast...
You know, guys, the next time I go on a podcast, I'm going to have them introduce me as the legend, the icon. No, it has to be skinny legend. Yeah, the skinny legend, the legendary icon, Rich Lux. Like that, just like that. And they don't introduce me like that, I don't want to be on the show. Thank you so much. Thank you. I know you can't be here too long, but thank you, Lens. Appreciate that. the queen, the ghost with the most, stuff like that, right? The number one, the number one drama channel on YouTube, like that, something like that, some crazy. And then you have to throw in a few lies too, like the richest, worth over $10 billion, Rich Lux, and I like that, kind of like that. The skinny legend, the icon, the queen, the number one drama channel, and worth over $10 billion in Bitcoin, Rich Lux, like that. Bring me on the show. If I'm not introduced that way, I want to go. And if y'all hear anyone introduce me like that, y'all need to play along. Y'all need to be like, yes, yes, queen. Like, y'all got to hype me up in the comments too, guys. Okay, here we go.
It is a space where some of the biggest internet personalities could come onto the show and tell their story. For example, the content creator PewDiePie often makes gaming videos, but going on to the H3 podcast, he told a behind-the-scenes story of his life. The complexities of fame, interactions with other creators, this gave an inside look into what many people were becoming more curious of, the behind-the-scenes.
Behind the scenes! Didn't I tell y'all?
That other YouTubers do that annoy you?
I wish you asked me that first. I can think about it a little bit. What came to mind right ahead was like the double-sided, two-facedness, I guess. A lot of people act one way online and then offline. They're the worst fucking person you've ever had to interact with. They're so bad that they don't realize they're bad, so you just kind of laugh at them while they're bad.
Ethan and Hila's existing fan base from H3H3 Productions gave them a launching pad for this podcast. They were able to easily connect with other creators, have them as guests on their podcasts, compared to a podcast that's just starting out, and were able to cross-pollinate audiences. By January of 2018, only a year later, the H3 podcast rivaled the H3H3 main channel, pulling in hundreds of thousands to millions of views per episode, which was unusual for podcasts at the time. That being said, many did complain about Ethan's job as a host. Even back then, early on, people thought that he wouldn't often ask the hard questions of the guests on the show, or would often interrupt.
It's like, no.
Oh my God.
But which was so funny, but I don't think I would remember
that guy. Because you know what I hated about the guy? Watching I ordered a bagel.
And I feel like I can visualize it
Yeah,
too.
and he wanted butter on him. An airport.
Yeah, usually.
Okay, but like, here's the thing, right? Because that always gets so much criticism. Is, well, like, oh, well, they don't really ask the serious questions. And, well, you know what? Not every podcast is that type of podcast to be like a Diane Sawyer or something like that. Like, some podcasts, people go on there just to have a good time and shoot the breeze and just talk about irrelevant topics that really don't make any sense. Like, you know, not all these podcasts are doing that. And that's okay. So for her to point that out, it's like, well, girl, that's not even that type of gig. That's like okay. It's like if you go see a drag queen perform, right? And you get upset because she didn't do the splits and death drop and do a fast number. Well, girl, if she's old as hell or established or a title holder or an evening gown, she's not going to be doing the splits and tearing it off and being in pasties and everything. Like, that's just not that gig. And I don't think... Like, when I tune into the H3 podcast, I'm not tuning in for a hard-hitting, asking the questions everyone wants to know. You're just there for a good time. Now, sometimes they'll interview people, but then even then, they're always met with, well, they didn't ask the real questions. You didn't ask the... Well, sometimes to get the people on the show, they're going to say, I'll come on the show, but I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about that. I can't talk about this or that. So then what are you left with? Just good times, reacting to videos, give us a little bit behind the scenes, and that's it. Okay, let me continue on.
YouTube, I have no problem watching myself back. But on the podcast, it's like, oh my God, my Tourette's is like so obvious. And, you know, when you're sitting with somebody and you end up talking over them, in your mind, it feels like a conversation. But in the VOD, you're just like, Idiot, just shut up.
The H3 podcast channel has since launched several spin-off shows, most notably After Dark, H3 TV, and Off the Rails. It seems like the H3 podcast started as a fun and casual show, but over time, along with the success of the show, Ethan began to view himself as a serious podcaster.
Oh,
he essentially
really?
ripped himself away from his roots, and more, the clients began diving into serious endeavors, bigger and bigger investments that were reliant on an audience who loved and adored them. But they had millions of fans who loved and supported them. That would never go away, right? In 2017, Hila was inspired to start a clothing company. Hila went to art school. She liked fashion and design, but she felt like there was a lack of colorful clothing on the market, especially for adults. She compared in an interview this lack of colorful clothing to the colorful clothing out there for children. So she said, I just decided to try and go for it. I just designed one capsule and thought whatever happens, happens. This decision to start a clothing line coincided with the adpocalypse in 2017.
Oh my
Many
God.
creators saw significant drops in ad revenue. Hila said, over the course of 2 weeks when the adpocalypse happened, the revenue went down 80%, which was just insane. And it kind of shook us because all of a sudden you realize you're totally at the hands of this company and you don't know what could happen at any moment. Hila decided to call the brand Teddy Fresh because Ethan and Hila loved the name Theodore or Teddy. Theodore happens to be the name of their first son. Teddy is the nickname they have for each other. Following the launch of Teddy Fresh's first collection in October of 2017, the brand almost immediately saw massive success. Much of its apparel would sell out shortly after dropping, and the line reflects Hila's own personal style. While in the past I would certainly commend Hila for having a very creative style, often some of the outfit ensembles that Hila chooses feels very childlike, with also Teddy Fresh having a little teddy bear as a logo. I don't know, maybe it's interesting.
Wow.
Was she being shady? Or no?
Keep it up. Proud of you.
Well, you know what? Hell no, because I got something to say. So she's sitting there and she's saying like, yeah, she's saying like, oh, she is childlike. Girl. See, okay. Okay, so I'm sitting here, right? I'm sitting in front of you, right? Let me show you what's in front of me, right? So I got a pink phone because I got to call the network. Yes. I'm telling them to leave a like, drop a comment, or I'm gonna block everybody. So it's a prop, right? It's fun. I got a cup of water that's inside of a toxic cup, okay? Okay. All my makeup looks like it's Barbie makeup. Super cute, right? I'm sitting here in front of a Labubu makeup palette. All right. I'm wearing a Beetlejuice shirt. Dressed up like a clown with the crown. Right? And so to me, it's fun. It's stupid. Thank you, Advocate, for becoming a sneaky snake. It's fun. It's stupid. It's irreverent. And it makes me happy. If I could turn the camera around, you would see all my walls are pink. It's just crazy. And then there's like Louis Vuitton on the floor. It's an aesthetic. It really is an aesthetic. I'm sorry that Ethan Klein isn't designing, you know, Brunello Cucinelli, the Row, beige sweaters, white t-shirts with nothing on it for $500. It's an aesthetic. It's a vibe. And for her to call it childish, it's like, huh. I love it. It makes me happy. And this dark world, this crazy effed up world that we live in, right? It's your inner child coming out to play. And when you can find that inner child within all of you and let it out, because we're all just little kids inside, and you let that inner child out, it really is a reflection of you just being truly happy, right? So I like things that look like things. But I can explain it to you. Look, I mean, come on. Like, this right here was like a genius. Like, just look how fun this is. It's a freaking giant highlighter. I love it. I love the aesthetic. I love the vibe. And so Teddy Fresh went on to make, she's gonna talk about the controversies of Teddy Fresh. And then they went on to do collaborations with like Care Bears, Godzilla, very just colorful pieces. And there is a market for that. It's giving, you know what, like the Teddy Fresh sometimes it gives like the 1990s when it was really good, Betsy Johnson, you know, mixed in with back when Kate Spade really cared about her collection. It's like Kate Spade meets Betsy Johnson, but better materials elevated. Back when they used to do runway shows and Betsy Johnson would come out and do the splits and stuff like that, right? And Paris Hilton would walk the runway with her Juicy Couture velour tracksuits and the pink bags, right? And the Motorola Razr phones. Like that, it's just like I love this. This is the good old days. It's very like Barbie core, 90s core type of. Anyways, I don't gotta. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Not bother. Evidently, she doesn't get it.
As Ethan's success grew, he became known as a strong voice on YouTube. Ethan gained a lot of success on the YouTube platform when he began advocating for other creator rights. At an early stage when being a content creator was a new career for many, so it was ripe for grifters and people who took advantage of the unknown laws. Ethan called out CSGO on a video uploaded on July 4th, 2016, titled Deception, Lies, and CSGO.
Those of you out there who know us best know that we here at H3H3 Productions are all about blasting it. Today we're talking about CSGO gambling.
So in this part of the video, she then exposes the fact that Ethan Klein called out this fake gambling ring, which is now still going on today, allegedly, with the whole Drake and Aiden Ross, because they got caught up with the gambling scam yesterday. But in this situation right here, I remember this. Ethan Klein blew it out of the water, and he had the platform to do it. CSGO ended my marriage, okay? And so he calls out the gambling scam, and he put it on the map. Here we go.
Which is really something that's taken the internet by storm these past couple of years.
In the video, Ethan spoke about how two popular gaming YouTubers were operating an illegal gambling operation through the game Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
When you compare opening a crate in CSGO, it looks almost identical to an online slot machine. Tons of CSGO gambling sites have propped up. I'm going to be focusing on two extremely popular YouTubers by the name of Pro Syndicate and Team Martin. They have videos titled such as How to Win $13,000 in 5 minutes with CSGO betting. Now,
damn!
Sound just like a get-rich-quick.
$13,000 in 5 minutes, and I can't even get a rose to save I can't even get $1 to save my life. This is what I'm talking about. There's so much drama going on. That's for real. CSGO top 10. That was the worst drama. Sign me up. But the thing is, there were little kids who are watching this thinking they could get all that money doing it. Thank you, Jace. Appreciate that. Drop a rose. Drop a comment. Somebody leave a like, guys. We got to get these likes up. Like the video. Everybody getting blocked.
Scheme, then I'm the Pope. Like, are you creating entertainment or are you trying to get kids to gamble?
Ethan exposed to light how, in reality, while the two YouTubers were creating content about playing the game and virtually gambling on the site, the entire time the two YouTubers were founders of the essentially gambling site CSGO Lotto, which allows players to gamble using in-game items.
They own this site.
Girl!
Why is this shady? Because if they own the site, they have access to the back end of the website. They can control the outcome of every bet. They can fake the results to make promoting videos.
Following the release of Ethan Klein's video, which was in collaboration with the YouTuber Honor the Call, Polygon reported that a lawsuit was filed against Valve, one of the creators of CSGO. This lawsuit was filed by a player. This player accused the developers of allowing an online gambling market to develop within the game.
Now, this is when it gets really interesting. People have created a class action lawsuit against Valve, suing them for helping these gambling sites.
Can I talk about Valve? Like, this is just going off on a side quest right here. Valve made the best game. It was called Left 4 Dead. Then they came out with Left 4 Dead 2. That was the best game ever. People till this day play this game. I remember I told my assistant that I wanted to play Left 4 Dead 2, and he was like, "Oh, okay." And he got my Apple computer, and he was like, "You can't play it because it's so old of a game that the processors were so updated." So I was like, "Make it work. I want to play this game. It's a good stress reliever." So he had to go to Best Buy, buy a bottom of the barrel laptop, Microsoft Windows computer, so we were able to run Left 4 Dead 2 on it. And I was playing my little, I loved it. I think I played it for like about a week or two, and then I stopped. And I remember one day he walked in on me and I was playing Dead by Daylight on the PS5. He was like, "You play video games?" And I was like, "Yeah, like when everything is done, right? Like all my videos are done. I went to the gym. I tidied up. I edited my videos for tomorrow are ready to go. When everything is done, I'll sit down and I'll play PS5. He's like, "I just didn't think like successful people play video games." I'm like, "I know, but I actually have time to do it." So when I have time, I'll sit there and play video games. I will play video games right now live if I could. But hey, nobody would watch that. But I would do it. Anyways, shout out to Left 4 Dead 2. If you know, you know. Pills here.
But what this lawsuit alleges is that Valve knowingly allowed, supported, and or sponsored illegal gambling by allowing millions of Americans to link their individual Steam accounts to third-party websites. And they had this premonition like, this is an unregulated gambling market.
And CSGO Lotto was shut down soon after. A year later, Polygon reported that the Federal Trade Commission, as part of a settlement, demanded that the two be more transparent about their business ties moving forward. The fact that Ethan was involved in calling out creators who were conducting a shady online scheme,
Bro, and Marvel Rivals. I play as Storm.
that ended up in the FTC getting involved is pretty big news and pretty monumental when it comes to influencers and their online businesses. And from there, not only did it seem like Ethan continued advocating for online content creation, but for the right of audiences, the well-being of online content creation without bad actors' involvement. In 2016, H3H3 posted a reaction video reacting to a guy named Matt Haas, a YouTuber who posted comedic
Oh my
skits on
God.
his channel.
So then this is when he got sued. Okay, so get ready for that. She's gonna tell it to you, but I'm gonna summarize it. So Ethan Klein reacted to a video. He made a joke out of it, honestly. Well, the guy saw the video and got so mad and sued Ethan Klein, saying he stole his content. And Ethan Klein was like, "I just reacted to it." Get ready for this one.
At Haas Zone, often containing his bold guy persona. The reaction video posted to the H3H3 Productions channel was titled "The Big, the Bold, the Beautiful."
You have excellent form.
What are you, some sort of creep?
I don't know, lady. You're spreading open your asshole on a sidewalk. I'm not sure you're in a position to be calling people creeps.
What I love about his videos is that he set up that situation.
Yeah, the blame really is on Matt.
This is his script.
The H3H3 video received millions of views. It's safe to say Matt Haas did not like that. Matt tried claiming that the reaction video was a re-upload of his content and that he was entitled to the legal earnings from the video.
What happens when he catches her? Does he have to like tackle her?
He does whatever he
No, but
wants.
On May 25th of 2016, the couple uploaded a video addressing the lawsuit that Matt levied against them.
Yes, we are being sued for copyright infringement. It's been hanging over our lives like a cloud these past months.
Yeah.
We are being sued by Bold Guy, aka Matt Haas Zone. He doesn't like that we made fun of him, and so he's suing us. You know, you don't know what the jury's gonna say, and if they rule against us, we stand not only to lose a ton of money, but literally everything we've built our whole career.
Due to this early incident, Ethan and Hila appeared to be champions of fair use and reaction style content. An entire community came together to support them in their cause for fair use in its early days and interpretations, which influenced how audiences and creators interpret fair use and reaction style content to this day. Ethan and Hila even got assistance from other creators, like Ryan Morrison, the video game attorney, and Michael Lee, two lawyers turned content creators.
And he says, remove it,
never talk about me again or this situation and pay me $4,000. We could pay you $4,000, but like, what's the precedent that like anytime we make fun of someone, they could just write us a note from a lawyer and demand $4,000? It's like, this whole thing has always been bigger than us.
Midway through the negotiations, Matt had the big, the bold, the beautiful video copyright striked, even though H3H3 already made the video private.
While we were in negotiations for everything, on our privated video that was already removed, I guess he still had the URL, and he did a strike, he did a takedown on our video when we were in negotiations just because he wanted.
Copyright strikes are very bad for creators and come with immediate penalties and long-term risks. But Matt didn't stop there. On April 27th, 2016, Matt Haas filed a first amended complaint and jury demand to the U.S. District Court in the Southern District of New York, where the Kleins lived at the time.
Most of what you've read and heard about the lawsuit has been full of lies and misinformation. And the reason I've been silent until now is because I don't want to compromise my case.
The filing claimed that the original work, Matt's video, comprised the majority of the infringing work, the H3H3 video. In reality, Ethan and Ela Klein appeared in 80% of their video.
The infringing video features the defendants purporting to discuss the work in what they believe to be a humorous manner, but in fact reproduces virtually all of the work as nothing more than a prop in the defendant's comedy routine. The video was 14 minutes. We counted it, and the parts that we used Matt's was approximately 3 minutes.
The filing demanded earnings from the H3H3 Patreon and threatened to sue YouTube if they removed the copyright strike. On May 25th, YouTuber Philip DeFranco created a GoFundMe page titled Help for H3H3. This GoFundMe page raised over $170,000 to help the Kleins with their legal fees. On May 26, 2026, H3H3 posted a video titled A New Chapter for Fair Use on YouTube. The Kleins announced the Fair Use Protection Account, or the FUPA account. They claimed that this account will be used only for the purpose of protecting fair use. The Kleins vowed to join the fight against fair use protection on YouTube. They donated $5,000 of their own money.
We will be its first client. And that's why we decided to donate $5,000 of our own money. So we will be the first client of this account that will be known as the Fair Use Protection Account, also known as FUPA. The FUPA shall protect all of us. Thank you guys for helping augment the FUPA and making it voluptuous and big and powerful.
Okay, so all the money they got, everybody put FUPA in the chat, went to this FUPA account, right? But then, without its controversy, then they were accused of scamming their fans. And that's when I was like, girl. So it's like, here you have Ethan Klein, who literally pioneered fair use, and all creators across the entire platform to be able to react to videos under the fair use guise, and they still got hate for it. Watch.
Like we always knew that it was. If anyone out there thinks that they have a legitimate fair use claim and are being bullied, email fupa@morrisonlee.com. We've got a lawyer, a community that's there to stand up and help protect fair use. Thanks to your guys' contributions.
I was thinking when initially hearing about the FUPA account that so many creators, especially small creators, would greatly benefit from a fund like that, especially having legal assistance in complicated matters like copyright strikes and navigating these complicated issues. When I first started out, I got a random cease and desist in the mail from Russell Hartley that I had no idea what to do with. I've gotten copyright claims, like 13 on my
Girl, she's always getting copyright claims. Always. Don't care. Here we go.
The fact that the Kleins closed the FUPA fund after spotting the case that legal fees can add up and become more than you'd ever initially expect.
Hold on, we got a super, hold on. It says, the punk7476 just left a comment saying, "You're becoming part of my universe with Trisha made it so much better." Thank you so much. And guys, if you're watching on to the Tube, you can also pick up a member. Become a sneaky snake today.
Well, the fact that the Kleins closed the FUPA fund after spending the money on their own legal fees, instead of keeping it open, maybe replenishing the fund once they're able to so that other creators could have used it, well, That's a little disappointing. This move received criticism from many, like Keemstar, who suggested that the Kleins scammed their audience. This, in turn, made Keemstar into an enemy of Ethan Klein. In the end, Ethan and Hila Klein won their lawsuit, with U.S. District Judge Catherine B. Forrest ruling that their commentary video constituted fair use as a matter of law, and describing it as quintessential comment and criticism.
I swear to God, it felt like this would never happen. Man, now I'm so happy we did it. Because this is a landmark case, not just for us, but seriously,
Yeah.
the wording that the judge put into the opinion is going to strengthen fair use across YouTube.
This wasn't just a landmark case for YouTube. This was a landmark case for Ethan and Hila Klein's career, for their brand. So many creators came together to support Ethan and Hila when everything was almost taken from them. Yet a pattern was beginning to emerge when it came to Ethan Klein. He always expected others to be there for him at his lowest moments. He always had enemies that he believed were working against him. But when his friends were at their lowest moments, well, they were content. Over time, since reaction-style content became overdone, and Ethan became branded as a pioneer on YouTube who safeguarded other content creators, he turned his brand towards critiquing other content creators who took things too far. The only thing is, these content creators claimed that behind the scenes, Ethan acted as their friends. Essentially, publicly, Ethan was acting like a hypocrite. For example, Ethan uploaded a video titled The Leafy Rant. He accused content creator at the time, Leaf.
I hope you guys are following along. Thank you. It's been 9754. Thank you so much. But so he pioneered fair use. Then they called him out for scamming his fans because the money that was donated to the FUPA was to help with their lawsuit. And they won the lawsuit for everybody. And then it was dissolved. I don't necessarily think that was a scam. It was, the money was used what it was intended for. And then we're talking about Leafy is here. Do you guys remember that? I remember he would play a video game and just talk to the camera, like just talking about whatever he was talking about. Watch, you'll see.
Of being a bully and picking on people who weren't able to defend themselves. Most of Ethan's takes, I would say, I would agree with personally.
Most of you guys probably know Leafy is here. A whole genre of YouTubers of these kind of commentary channels where they show video game footage and then talk about some kind of video and react to a video.
Can I just say this? I'll probably get hate for this, but thank you for y'all tap that TikTok shop. What I'm trying to say is that throughout the internet culture, there's been these things that happen that I feel were just low energy, low vibrational, and one of those was the Leafy is here content. It's where you would click the video and it's just gameplay footage of, I don't know, like Call of Duty or something, or for the sake of the conversation, Left 4 Dead 2. And they're playing the video game and then someone's just giving commentary about something totally different, like another random, like some drama. So it looks like you're playing a video game, but then it also is somebody just giving commentary about latest drama. And I just found that to be very low effort, especially content that you don't show your face, or where you're just like, you put a video up and you don't react to it at all. You're just there. You let the whole thing play and you're just there, and then the video ends. No commentary, nothing, no effort, don't even get ready for the video, no makeup, no hair, no costumes, no production. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, at least I'll sit up here with a full face of clown makeup, costume, cameras, lights, giving commentary. At least there's effort put into it. Rich Lux Energy is immaculate. Thank you so much. We gotta put a little effort. And Leafy is here. It had little to no effort, but yet it got so many views. It doesn't anymore because I guess he got banned or something. But here we go.
I've been putting off talking about this because it's just, I'm actually friends with these guys. We as a community have been giving these guys a pass. Leafy made a video about a guy, like he usually does, calling him asshole, cringy, weirdo, you know, whatever. Turns out that this guy is actually autistic, and they made a video of themselves crying, saying they're getting death threats, and he's really upset. And I mean, if you look at Leafy's channel, all he does is make fun of kids and like vulnerable people. They don't need to be made fun of. And now that Leafy's channel has blown up, he's sending like millions of like kids to just harass these people.
The problem is many people felt that Ethan was a pioneer of this sort of content style, and so he was a hypocrite. Like when Ethan criticized Leafy for making content critiquing children, when he himself had done the same thing before. Both, of course, very wrong.
When he missed his 5th period geometry test to hit the studio to record this sick track, Timmy knows what risk-taking is. Timmy rolls with his mom everywhere. He brings fire tracks, and his mom's his biggest fan.
As a young white rapper who's new to the game.
Why did they feel the need to say that he's white?
In September.
But that's the contradiction, because if you watch Ethan Klein from the beginning until now, if you have, you'll see that there's growth. And there is growth within a lot of creators in the content that they put out. There's a lot of it. And so, yes, Ethan Klein made content like this, but that's not what he's doing today. And that's why he was able to call out Leafy is here, because he was like saying, hey, you know what? This is not right. And instead of agreeing with Ethan, it's like, oh, well, he's contradicting himself because he made videos like this too. Aha! Girl. So I guess once you make that type of video, you just can't stop. The H3 haters are against growth. There you go.
Of 2017, PewDiePie had made headlines for using the N-word.
What a nigger. What the fuck?
This instant came just months after PewDiePie made headlines for videos containing anti-Semitic and Nazi imagery.
You probably won't believe me when I say this, but whenever I go online and I hear other players use the same kind of language that I did, I always find it extremely immature, and I hate how I now personally fed into that part of gaming. I said the worst word I could possibly think of, and it just sort of slipped out.
Ethan spoke about the incident on the H3 podcast.
What you get is, I mean, refreshing in that it's pretty sincere.
Yeah.
Pretty owning up to what he did. But I don't know, when I first saw that, I was pretty shocked. I'm like, dude, come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't that long ago that all of us came out and rallied against him, you know?
Against him?
I mean, in support of him.
Ethan had befriended the YouTuber iDubbbz, who at the time, due to his pretty toxic content, developed a relatively toxic fan base who had admired his edgy content. His comedy would often include the use of racist and homophobic slurs.
We are very fucking stupid to hold the word
Wow.
at this colossally high standard.
During an H3 podcast featuring iDubbbz, Ethan recited the same racist and homophobic slurs. At some point, even Ian, aka iDubbbz, looked uncomfortable, questioning whether Ethan was taking the bit a little bit too far.
I've already said the N-word. You can't take me down. Someone makes a...
There you go. Every time there's an Ethan Klein hit piece video, they always bring this part up. Every time. And you can obviously tell it's a show, bro. It's like hyping it up for the show. It's a gig. It's being performative. And if you don't have a sense of humor, or you don't have like a little bit of like show business attitude, then you're like, oh my God, he was being serious. Here we go.
Compilations like, here's Ethan saying nigger. Well, who said perfect? It's just been around the block.
Yeah.
I love that I can just say perfect.
Yeah. I feel like you're using it a little liberally.
I love saying it's so wonderful. Yeah. So
Now you're gonna get shit for it.
See, now they're all laughing about it. Even iDubbbz, who even said, I feel like you're using it differently. Bro.
it's just a wonderful string of words that you. And his whole thing is that he says and saying perfect. He's a hypocrite because he said before. Well, Ethan said before, and someone makes a compilation. It's like, here's Ethan saying, referring to the word and saying in a reference. H3's a hypocrite because he said on his podcast. It's like, dude, I think there's a clear difference between saying and referencing it. He said when me saying I was at a party and said and she left. And they're like, oh, Ethan said
You said it! Just
I have nothing to apologize for.
Present day, Ian or iDubbbz would post a video apologizing for his past content. He admitted that he cultivated an audience who believed that this type of dialogue was acceptable.
I was saying slurs and I was trying to justify it all. A very big thing that has sort of altered my view on all of this is just the amount of hate and harassment my wife, Anissa, has received over the years. I have done a horrible job at acknowledging her and her feelings for it. That's the culture that I cultivated, and I, didn't do anything to change that.
His behavior also attracted racist people who could use that dialogue and pass it off as just edgy humor. Yet Ethan, on the other hand, largely ignores this part of his past, even his possible blackface. His viewers even enable this behavior, claim those images are taken out of context, and stem from the KLEINs doing spray tans and charcoal face masks, even though the title of their YouTube video is called The Black Challenge. Subreddits, on the other hand, won't let Ethan forget this history.
Here we go.
Compilations exist online of Ethan saying the N-word.
How many I got to suck? Nick can't love the subject. Yo, the whole crowd gathered around one Nick. They talking about how one Nick figure how we can suck the whole party. We just need to feel and taste like a nigga. So how many Nicks I got to suck? I got AIDS. Just spreading AIDS. He said, no, I can't take that shit. Nigga, you too ugly, and all y'all niggas at home because y'all can do anything. Yeah, I'm number 0, Nick. Number 0, Nick, and y'all niggas got the life.
You think that I'm a racist and a hypocrite?
Unsubscribe. Yeah,
Don't
just
watch.
leave.
Don't watch. My most recent video is making fun of a black person.
But here's where things get very dark. The strange videos that Ethan and Hila have taken part in aren't only offensive, they're extremely disturbing. And I would say, personally, they go far beyond what even Leafy and PewDiePie have posted. The very people Ethan has called out for being wrong in videos they've posted. I think his content has gone far beyond that. You've been warned for the content that I'm about to show you, and how it completely shatters the image that Ethan and Hila have spent crafting online. The
All right,
image of
here we
being
go.
advocates on the side of creators, of people. Ethan climbs, symbolizes and mocks Boston Marathon bombing
Thank
survivor in
you.
a deleted video, then fantasizes about orally R-wording her. Ethan Klein was 28.
Like, it's every time these people get together, it's a little hate rally around Ethan. Every time I see the little hate rally against Ethan. Every time. And it never works. And again, if his videos are so boring, why make a 3-hour video about it? Come on, Fupa. Ethan never did blackface. Yeah, here you go. Here we go.
Years old when they filmed this video. It was recorded by Hila Klein, the owner of Teddy Fresh. Keep that in mind. Ethan and Hila were married, and Hila was filming this video that you're about to watch. Ethan comments on this Boston Marathon bombing survivor. The purpose of that video was for Ethan Klein to mock the girl for making a political statement by doing a photo shoot with "You can scar me, but you can't stop me" written on her stomach and showing her scars. Why? Ethan suggests this is inconsiderate because others actually died from the bombs. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. The girl's name is Sydney Corcoran. Her mother lost both her legs. She was 17 years old at the time of the bombing and 18 years old in the photo. That photo was part of a photo shoot where survivors returned to Boston to symbolically finally cross the finish line 1 year after the bombings. This video, of course, will be heavily censored for the sake of the viewers.
All right, here we
also,
go.
Most importantly, for the sake of the
Here we
bombing
go.
victim.
Thanks for joining me on edgy material warning number 3. You can scar me, but you can't stop me. Now that is interesting and very deep and poetic. But what's even more interesting is if we just go a couple pixels down. Boom. That's some good so girl. Yeah. Let me get down with that shit. I can smell it from here. Pretty brutal scars. Nothing that a heavy night of
I can't see it. I don't know what they're showing.
Anyway, ignoring the camel, that fat, juicy, juvenile, but I won't stop that shit, boy. Yeah. Ignoring that. By the way, I don't know if you guys saw, but you can see her, and this makes it a much more powerful image. She's got a nice smug face. Good to. I would ram my. I hope she can keep that smug smile for me that whole time. You know what I mean? Big up to her for being brave, getting out here and making this very powerful political statement. about her proximity to the bomb being less close than all the other ones who died. You can scar her, but you can't stop her, guys. And never forget, Boston bombing, 2013, guys. Never forget.
For Hila to be someone who was in the IDF, to have claimed that she experienced various hardships growing up in Israel, fear of bombings from Muslim countries, and then take part in mocking a bombing victim, that personally causes me to lose all sympathy for the two of them whatsoever. Ethan has over the years said incredibly creepy things when it comes to women. Like when he said on the H3 podcast in front of Joji and Post Malone that women are meant to be conquered. Joji's reaction says it all.
Our Neanderthal cousins were like crazy. So there's definitely something like in us to like conquer. Men want to like conquer. Right. So it's, you know, women are in a nature setting like to be conquered.
Maybe we do have a problem with accountability culture, not in the ways in which we hold other people accountable, but in the ways that we're not able to hold ourselves accountable, hold a mirror up to ourselves, grow as individuals, understand where we went wrong, change, move forward. Try to do better. When you point the finger, you have 3 fingers pointing back at you. Ethan's fans didn't seem to realize the extent of his past. At least many of them didn't. And Ethan was making waves as a content creator who stood up either for or against other content creators. So to many, they trusted him, his opinions, the ways in which he condemned others. Rules for thee, but not for me. While Ethan's fans trusted him, what they didn't know or realize was that to Ethan, they were becoming his armor, his army, a way to take down his enemies. Through the years, instead of lifting other creators up, like the initial promise he sold to the world, Ethan tore others down to lift himself up. Ethan thrived off of having someone to hate. He always had many enemies online and few friends. Or when he had friends, they seemed to bond off of their mutual enemies. This is something he roped his audience into without even realizing it. For example, one of Ethan's biggest enemies throughout his career was fellow village troll Keemstar. Ethan's audience seemed to be sort of parasocially involved in Ethan's disdain for Keemstar without maybe even realizing such, to the extent that when Hila announced her pregnancy online, many of the comments were as such. Keemstar, hearing about Hila and Ethan being happy and pregnant. Me if Keemstar bothers Hila while she's pregnant. Back off, bitch. While it could just be a joke, a shared meme to viewers, they, without realizing it, were participating in a long-standing pattern that Ethan had of needing to have many enemies to tear down and go against, and build a fan base that could help him in his crusade. While many of Ethan's audience saw Keemstar as an easy Ethan brought onto his show as his friends, as enemies that they now turn against as well. But this strategy, at least initially, worked out well for the KLEINs, catapulting their online success and following, bolstering their net worth. Ethan Klein has a net worth of $20 million, and Hila Klein has a net worth of $25 million, though some of the ways this wealth has been acquired may be perceived as less than savory. In the fashion industry, the act of copying, or at least borrowing heavily from someone else's designs, is pretty common. In September 2020, Ethan Klein said that James Charles' new merch line looked pretty identical to items from Hila's.
Here's the copying. Here's the copying.
That hoodie is like our most iconic.
That hoodie right here was the most sickening hoodie they ever came out with. And then James Charles copied it, girl. And in this part, she's then going to dissect how, well, he's calling out James for copying, but they copied too. And then she starts showing, it's like, girl, shut up. Shut up. I am disappointed too in the video she made. That's why she made a video last night crying about it. I love her, but, hold on. But, my God, how awful. It's just kind of like, there were certain parts where she just didn't find the humor in the jokes. And if you're over here on Tiki Talkie, we need to get 10,000 likes. Wake up, Tiki Talkie. We're almost there. Give me the 10K, baby. And if you're over here on You to the Tube, drop your favorite emoji in the chat. Flood the comment with your favorite emojis. Help the algorithm. Share the live. Like the video. All right, here we go. Because this is where she starts contradicting everything.
Piece. It's our #1 seller. It has been for years. And like James Charles making, it's exactly the same hoodie.
It's actually been ripped off a lot too, but normally like
Here, let me show it because people may not know.
we wouldn't really do anything about it because what can you do? But I think in this case it just kind of hurt because it's a fellow YouTuber who's actually got way bigger influence than we do.
Way big.
And so it just kind of hurt.
Ayla then shared photos of the 2017 sketches of her color block hoodie, revealing a pattern and color scheme similar to this sister's hoodies. Initially, James responded with a photo of the inspiration for his hoodies, saying that he's never seen the Teddy Fresh color block hoodies. Ethan released the DMs between him and James and spoke further about them, claiming that James Charles admitted that he did not care, even if one of his team members did steal the Teddy Fresh designs.
This is the part that I really want to share, but you won't let me. The thing is, he brought up the DM, so I feel like he's saying it's okay to share it.
He's not.
Right
But
there.
He said
I want to say this, right? Listen to what he said right here. Look.
Did not care, even if one of his team
Right here, get
members
ready.
did steal the Teddy Fresh designs.
Right here.
This is the part that I really want to share, but you won't let me. The thing is,
This is the part I really wanted to share, but Gila won't let me. Gila has always had Ethan like, you know, reel it in. Don't worry about it. Like she's always been very PR. She's always been like looking out for the cookout, you know? And I think with time, I was like recently, she's like, yeah, say it. Go ahead, say it. And now he says it and everyone is agreeing with him. Like, and so it's kind of like she was always just trying to keep the peace and not rock the boat, which I love. But now she's like, you know what? Release the Kraken. And when Ethan Klein speaks the truth, people rally behind. They love it, and it rattles the cage, and people love it. You know what I'm saying? So there has to be like there's growth there, and I think if you also watch Gila Klein throughout the years on here, like she's more comfortable on video. She's not so shy. She is more inclined to give an opinion about situations. She'll let her husband speak on things where normally she would be like, no, don't say it. Don't worry about it. We don't want the drama. Like she's like, yeah, go ahead. And then she'll even start speaking on it. So I love the growth. And it happens to everyone. If you make content on the internet, you grow as a person and you're not so shy or quiet or like scared to speak out anymore. And you're like, you know what? I'm gonna say it. What's up? Hello. All right, we're watching it.
he brought up the DM, so I feel like he's saying it's okay to share it.
He's not.
But he literally said after I confronted him,
and he confronted James Charles right here. You know what I'm saying? Let me stand up and move my legs. I don't want to get no blood clots. I've been sitting down for so long. Hold on.
hadn't seen this colorway here. He says, oof. Just to give you a heads up, it appears that this one has the exact same colors. And it looks like the design team totally ripped you off. He literally said, "Hi, sisters." And I said, "Wow, so it doesn't seem like a coincidence, does it?" And he said, "It's not." He says, "It does not appear to be a coincidence." So he literally admit that they ripped us off in the DM.
It seems pretty clear.
He admitted it.
Potentially.
He admitted it, bro. James Charles admitted it. Right there, guys. He freaking admitted it. Girl.
Though that is very questionable too. But let's say that it was not. Someone on his team was. But it doesn't matter. I mean, ultimately, it's his responsibility.
One would assume that Teddy Fresh having someone plagiarize their designs would make the clients against doing something similar. However, in 2021, a Reddit user came forward with allegations that some designs used by Teddy Fresh in a collection themed around dinosaurs have been copied directly from a 1990 knitting pattern booklet. The book, titled Dinosaur 5 Knitting Patterns, was created by Gary Kennedy, who made various licensed knitting pattern booklets in the 1980s and 1990s. On the H3 podcast, Ethan admitted that the designs were plagiarized, but he claimed that the design was submitted by someone who was previously fired back in 2021, months earlier. Despite trying to pass the blame onto an anonymous former employee, Hila admitted in an interview with People that she's very involved in the design and all of the creative when it comes to Teddy Fresh. Regardless, Ethan still made comments like, we could probably still legally sell it, suggesting that nothing would happen if Teddy Fresh still sold the designs without crediting Gary Kennedy.
Okay, first of all, the Teddy Fresh thing. So Teddy Fresh is a company with 30 employees. And by the way, I love whenever someone's losing a...
Hold on. I gotta talk to y'all about something. Hold on. Let me get it. So, I got Teddy Fresh right here on that ass. This is it. Guys, double tap, like the live. Look. I wore it yesterday. So let me... There we go. All right, it says Teddy Fresh. It has a little rainbow bear, size large. There's a little logo. And then you get this. And in here, you get little stickers. This is cool. This right here could be on a black t-shirt and this in white. So it's like you get stickers. I got one more in here. It says, hi, Mom. You get stickers. The material of anything Teddy Fresh is amazing. It's very good quality. Like, it's not merch.